Hello, my name's Russ. I'm the developer of Big Ice Tower Tiny Square, and I'm going to do a walkthrough here in kind of a speed run. I'm going to play it about as fast as I can. I'm not going to stop to talk to any of the little dudes or anything, or read any of the text. This is more just to give anybody some help if they're stuck in a certain spot. So, yeah, here we go. I'll probably do a little bit of talking about some of the game design decisions I made through here, and yeah, I guess let's do this. So this is a follow-up to the first game, just Big Tower Tiny Square. That one was released about a year ago. It's been played quite a lot, so I made a little holiday-themed version just to kind of keep the story going and give the people who actually enjoyed playing the game another one to play. Because there's a fair number of people who did not seem to enjoy the game at all. But hey. I'm also going to do my best not to swear through this, because even though I created the game, I still die a lot. If you're interested in any of the history of the game, I'm about to get into that right now. If you're not at all interested in any of that or me talking, you probably want to just mute the. Channel, because there's probably going to be a lot of me going, and the occasional damn it. Hopefully, just the occasional one. So yeah, Big Tower Tiny Square, the first one, came out of the Legendary Game Jam. I think it was Legendary 30, I want to say. It was a while ago now. I didn't have too much time to work on it. Out of the 48 hours, I think I only managed to get started on something on Saturday. For anybody who doesn't know, that game jam runs Friday night to Sunday night. So I kind of lost a solid probably 24 hours. And I just decided to make something kind of quick and fun. The theme was single screen, I think. So the version I made wasn't entirely, the whole game on one screen. It was kind of what you get here, where it's one giant level, and the screen just keeps slowly moving up the further you get. I really like the idea of that, especially from old arcade games that also used to do that. The idea of a whole game in one level I found super appealing, especially because you kind of see the whole game. You can kind of see the whole game before you even start playing. Let's try that. These lasers are brand new. These were just put in for this version of the game. They're a nice little change up in the hazards. When it comes down to these types of platform games, almost every hazard is essentially the same, serves the same function at least. The only real difference is the aesthetic. Some hazards work better aesthetically than others. So the lasers work good here for kind of a timed obstacle. The saws, not so much in the exact same way. So, I'd never be just alternating saws on two different sections like I do with the lasers here. Now, this section's probably the hardest one, maybe. There is some timing to it, and patience. This one mostly just comes down to patience. Until you get to this part, when you have to be super fast, not to be caught by that final laser there. Shoot. Um, really, a lot of the obstacles in this game are patience-based. As long as you don't panic and you wait out the obstacle, you'll probably be okay. But a lot of people, myself included, tend to try to rush it. I mean, ultimately, you are trying to get the best time you can possibly get to get up and down the tower. So there is some panic involved, but if you're just trying to get to the top of the tower, there's really no hurry. Take your time, and you'll do it just fine. I'm not too fond of this section. I don't think it's actually very well designed. If I was to do a major update to this one, like I did for the web version of Big Tower Tennis Square, the first one, that is a section I would certainly change. This is one of the more precise challenges. You really want to, I'm going to do that again. You really want to get up into this top corner and then kind of feather your way back down. One of the harder design goals I've had with these games is because the intention always is to make the player come back down the tower. So to try to design something that's interesting to go both up and down the tower was somewhat challenging. Not every section ends up getting used for both up and down, but I try to reuse as much as possible. It's more interesting that way, in my opinion, and it's more exciting as a game design challenge as well. My first game had a small water section that seemed to be really, really hated by the people who played it. So I tried to minimize. That's one of the reasons why it would be hated. I try to minimize it in this version, so this is pretty much the only lengthy swimming portion, and it's reasonably effortless. Again, as long as you're patient, it's really not that tough to get through on the first try. Both games I kind of left little sections too where it wasn't necessarily in your best interest if you're going for a really good time to get a checkpoint. You might want to just hit the respawn button. Although in this case, I'm just not blocked. I guess to clarify that, so in this case, the player, let's go back to this one, the player could actually just hit this switch and then hit their button to respawn instead. Honestly, in this section, it's kind of pointless. Probably shouldn't have even done it because it's such a short distance, it's not saving any time. So, maybe something I would keep in mind if I went back and improve this game in some way for some other sort of release. I could jump there. One other thing that's a little bit different here, as far as the character movement goes, is that there is really no inertia once you're in the air. Once you let go, you fall almost immediately straight down. I want to try to incorporate the way that works into a couple of these challenges like this one, where really the goal is just to get the character over top of that gap and then let go of any controls you have. That way he just falls right in there. No. again, patience. Alright, so you can choose forgiveness or revenge. If you played the first game, you know that big square, spoiler, tricked you into dumping pineapple into a vat of lava. So here you can forgive or get revenge. Really, if you want to truly complete the game, you have to get revenge. You can't just forgive Big Square. What he did was unforgivable. So, time to go get your true revenge down back at the bottom of the tower. I noticed from other playthroughs, a lot of people don't try to alternate the wall too often. They just want to climb it like that, which is super slow and not really how this was meant to be played. There's a couple sections where you're forced to climb up the same side of the wall, but generally I was actually shooting to get people to alternate walls. It's so much quicker to climb the towers that way. The fact that so many people don't do that, I would say, is probably a failure on my part to really enforce that on the player to get them to do that. Damn it. Back to this section. So in order to make the tower actually reversible and still keep some of the challenges the same, I had to remove blocks in certain areas. So if you were very astute, you would notice that there used to actually be a couple of dark blocks right on here, on this corner, that prevented you from going back up that section of the tower before. I had to get those removed so that you obviously could get back through there when you're on your way back down. So there's a couple sections where I would do that, not too many. I wanted to keep it as pure as possible, I guess, and that I'm not altering the environment as the player goes up or down. But there's a couple sections where that was just unavoidable. Ooh, that's close. That's not gonna happen. Ooh, getting lucky. Alright, normally that doesn't go that well. That went pretty well. I'm happy with that. Not happy with that. Oh. Who designed this game? Oh my god, this is embarrassing. Okay. Again, gotta be a little more patient. There we go. Ah! Whew. So there I am. I was actually looking forward to the next obstacle, and I was already doing what I just said I don't like people doing, which is going up one wall, which is really difficult, especially on these slippery ones. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that either. I panicked there. Okay, let's try this again. Ugh, nope. One of the things I did here, purposely to make people panic, was make it a little slipperier as you come down at this section, which really forces the player to time their jumps, because how fast you slide down there as opposed to once you hit the ice, it's quite a bit different. So I was just trying to make people panic a little bit there. That's not the part I'm dying at, but that was the decision behind that. There we go. I didn't use the portals too much in this version. Wanted to focus a little more on the ice aspects. I think in whatever version I'm doing next, we'll focus a lot more on the portals. So I think they're a fun little mechanic, and you can do some interesting things with them design-wise. I haven't done anything too interesting with them yet, but I got some pretty cool ideas. Well, that was dumb. That was also dumb. I believe at one version, at some point in one of the versions of this game, I had these bigger saws moving up and down, but it was ridiculously tough, so I pulled that out. I think it'd be kind of neat to go back through any version of this game I do and make it significantly more difficult. Getting pretty close to the end here. If you couldn't tell from the storyline before, it is just a bit of a goof off on the concept of most platformers, which is to go rescue a princess. That's just my silly take on it. Ultimately, in most platformers, player's not too concerned what the actual story is. They just want to play the game, jump on stuff. So that was the focus here. And there we go. So that's how you beat Big Ice Tower, Tiny Square. My time's probably going to be a little off because I was idling for a while before I hit record, but not too bad. Been recording for about 20 minutes or so that was a pretty good run. Anyways, if you have any questions about the game, any feedback, feel free to leave a comment here on my Facebook page or tweet at me, however you want to do it. In any event, thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and I hope you guys enjoyed.